Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Zero to Hero, and this week we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and I want to be focusing on a unit that is used oftentimes not to its best ability, and there's a lot of times when this unit that I'm going to talk about is actually not used at all, and it should be used a lot more in my opinion because it is a great unit and it can really change the tides of games. So as you may know, this game here is between Molly and Ezerim, ZT Ezerim, and I actually commentated this game way ago on my channel back June 2011, so almost a year ago, 10 months ago, and some of you will probably remember this, and I can probably guarantee that the majority of you haven't seen this game, so it's not going to be too bad, but I wanted to use this one because it is a great example of where this unit has really changed the tide of a game. So the war story so far is that these guys have been pretty neck and neck up to this point. Molly is in red, and they're both playing as Huns, by the way, on Arabia. Molly is in red to the north of the map, and down to the south we have ZT Ezerim. So as you can see, at the moment, from this little snapshot in time, Ezerim does not look in a good position at all. Molly is pounding at his walls with knights, and Ezerim is stuck in this tiny area of base. Fortunately, he's got a little bit of gold at the back, but he doesn't really have much else at all. A little bit of wood and really small area to build in. And unfortunately for Ezerim, his attack on Molly so far hasn't been too effective. He's got a couple of knights up here, but he's not been able to do enough harassment, and Molly has taken a massive score lead. In fact, he's 800 score in the lead, and Molly has 61 population, Ezerim has 48. So let's see how this plays out, because Ezerim is about to do something here that really changes the tide of the game for him. As you can see, he's thrown up a monastery. And for those of you who have seen this game before, you'll know what's about to happen. But this is such a great strategy for him to use, and it really helps him out in this situation. As you can see, he's thrown down a stable and a monastery there. At the monastery, he's queuing up 3 monks. If we look at how much gold he's got stupid amounts of gold. He could even afford another monastery, and he can definitely continue to build more monks. He's desperately trying to stop Molly from getting into his base, and he's doing that by repairing up this blacksmith, but look how many villagers he's got there that aren't working. However, he has got this monk here, and he's managed to convert one knight and distract Molly's attention. And he's also making a knight, every now and then he's making a knight at his stable. He wants to keep up villager production though when he can, for sure. And here we go again with another monastery right now. So now he's got monks coming out, he's got a monastery right here, and Molly cannot really do anything whilst he can't get into Ezerim's base. He is bringing in a mangonel, but this knight is managing to take out the mangonel, and so far Ezerim's doing a pretty good job at defending. He's still making monks at both of his monasteries, and he's still got a lot of gold, and the monks are really where the game changes. Unfortunately for Ezerim, these knights do get into Molly's knights do get into Ezerim's base, but he's continuing on with the monks, and he's continuing with the conversions. He's still getting monks out right now, and the monks are what saves this game for him. He's having to garrison villages in the town centre. He's got idols, 52 population right now to 68, and Ezerim is really not looking in a strong position. However, he is still managing to get these monks out and managing to make those all-important conversions, and this is what I'm going to say. I think monks are extremely underused, and basically monks are a saviour in Age of Empires, and if you haven't ever used monks in a game, because I know for a fact that a lot of players out there don't even use them, then you probably should. Not just for collecting relics, but for changing the tide of the game. Unfortunately for Ezerim here, he loses tons of villagers, as there's no way he can escape from these knights. Once this raid on Ezerim has been completed, you'd think, look at this, he's got absolutely nothing. He's had a massive raid on his base. Molly's killed off most of his villagers. He's down to 39, 37 population. Molly's all the way on 63. Let's just speed things up a little bit, see what population he even goes down to at this stage. 34 pop is really not good. 33 right there, really bad for him. And for some reason the game isn't speeding up that much, I'm not sure why. As you can see, right down to 30 population, and you've got it. You'll think surely Molly's got this in the bag. Fortunately though, Ezerim manages to do some damage here. He does get some knights in at the back of Molly's base, and Molly does start to lose some villagers. However, looking at this, you got to think surely Molly's going to take out this town centre, but no, because Ezerim is queuing up all those monks. Fortunately, he had a lot of gold, and when you think, God, this game is over, Molly is at my doorstep. He's taking out all of my villagers, and I've basically got nothing left. He says, no, that's it, I'm going to push out right here, and I am going to, try and do some economic harassment of my own. Although I'm massively outnumbered, I've got all these monks right here, and these monks are going to save my ass. And that's exactly what happens. And I'm going to cut now to the little bit where Ezerim goes from 29-30 population all the way up a little bit. Okay, so Ezerim now has 8 monks, and he's got more on the way. So what does 8 monks mean? Well, 8 monks means that he can convert 8 knights in an instant, and it also means that he can use his 8 knights to attack the other knights of your opponent and heal them at the same time. And this is where the game starts to swing into Ezerim's favour. 9 monks now, and more being created. 10 monks, 11 monks, 12 monks, however many monks he's deciding to go for. And these monks are going to absolutely change the tide. If we look, he's got 6 cavalry, 10 monks. Molly has got 14 cavalry, and he's already lost a large chunk to the monks of Ezerim, but Molly has definitely got the bigger economy, and he can certainly produce a lot more knights for sure, and he is doing that exactly. This is where Molly's big mistake is, though. He doesn't actually change his build. However, this is where Ezerim does the best thing he possibly can, continues to build continues to build monks. And monks are so underused, and they should be used so much more, and I'll say this so many times, because if we look at this upcoming conflict, there's so many knights right there, but if Ezerim can convert half of them, then the battle is won. Currently 38 population to 60, and Ezerim has somehow managed to hold Molly out of his base. And here we go with an engagement now, and as you can see, these monks are going to be able to do a massive job as these guys walk past. He might lose a lot of monks here, but he's certainly going to get a lot of conversions as well. And I think right here, he's definitely converted a large amount of knights right there. And because monks, once they've converted, can actually start to heal as well, this battle actually goes in favour of Ezerim. As you can see, Ezerim, there we go, with more knights now, and actually forcing Molly away. So even though he lost all those monks, it was well worth it, because it really changed the tide of the battle. And from there, Ezerim went on to win the game. There is a link in the description to where you can actually watch this game in full and see for yourself how the game actually went. But monks are so underused, and they should be used a lot more. And if you have the opportunity, especially as Aztecs or Mayans or a good monk civ, then do go for them. Also as well, not only are they great for converting your opponent and healing your own units to make them last longer, they can also pick up relics, which are really important in 1v1s. So once you've built your monks, you won't forget to pick up the relics. You will just pick up the relics when you go past them. And also, monks have a massive line of sight. They are really, really good for actually scouting out. If you send one monk off in one direction, they have a really big line of sight. As you can see here, this monk has a huge line of sight. They'll be able to find more relics, and they'll be able to get more map exploration done for you. So that's my tip of the day, or Zero to Hero's tip of the day. Monks, you should make at least 2 or 3 monks every single game once you get into the Castle Age. They are so valuable, and they are so worth it. So thanks for watching. I've been Zach, and I'll see you next time.